What went through my mind was, I got to get out of here. I was panicked. That's probably in my whole life that I can think of the closest thing to panicking because I thought I was going to die. We'd like to share a story about a triathlon that Sandy and I did together. We actually trained together, and it was up in
Snow Valley ski area.
And it was a cross triathlon, so it was out on the dirt trails and in a small lake there that they had.
We really had no idea what we were getting into because this was a whole different field that we had never been exposed to. These athletes that show up to these off-road triathlons were way fathoms beyond what we had experienced before.
Because we had done other triathlons, on streets, on regular city streets, in a swimming pool, and that was, a piece of cake. I thought, I don't need to train because I exercise a lot. So I said, how hard could it be? So in the swim, we had to go around the lake twice. And we started in the first group, but then the second group started after us.
People in triathlons, normally polite people, change. When they're in the water, they are swimming over you. They are pressing your feet down, and your feet need to be near the surface to keep yourself balanced. And people are whacking you, and you're just looking around like, why are these people being so rude to me and in my space? But that's just what happens in a race like this.
You feel like you're in a washing machine. I mean, literally, there are people swimming not just next to you nearby, but over you, like you said. I mean, they're hitting you, they're on your back, and they were like machines, right? I mean, I just remember getting literally swam over, I don't know, they like ran over by people and their arms and legs were just kicking me. What went through my mind was, I got to get out of here. I was panicked. That's probably in my whole life that I can think of the closest thing to panicking because I thought I was going to die, literally. Because there's no sides that you can just swim to and grab onto like in a pool. After that group came around and just sort of almost maybe drowned, I got out of the lake. So Sandy was still in there, and so she saw that I got out. So she was hanging on in the middle of this lake onto one of the lifeguards' kayaks. So she was hanging on there, and I said to her, Sandy, just go on ahead. I'm taking a DNF, did not finish. I'm done. And she says, no, you have to get back in here or else I'm not going to go on. And I said, oh, man.
He's on the shore leaning over, trying to breathe. And he's like, go.
I said, go, just go, leave me.
No, you come here. Because he's the one that got me to do this triathlon. So I'm not going to go on this by myself. I'm like, you're the reason I'm here. You're going to come and do this with me.
So I felt bad. I did not want her to not finish, because of me. So finally, after about 10, 15 minutes of back and forth, I got my breath back. So I finally got them back in the water. And then by then, most of the swimmers had gone. They were already gone. I think there's only like a handful of people left. And then after that, I thought, okay, the hardest part is done, because for me, swimming is not my forte. So I thought, okay, that's done. Got on the bikes, and we started riding up the mountain bike, the first trail. And immediately I got a major cramp. I'm like, oh, great. Make a long story short, what happened with the run?
We had a few stops with the bike, and it's like
we were taking pictures.
Just get your cramp gone. We'll just keep riding, and it wasn't like a race at that point. It was just like a ride because
survival. It was just survival.
There's no one around us, and we're just taking pictures and letting his leg rest. Then we get done with the bike ride, and we think, okay, just a little run left.
Just a little run.
The person that's guiding you to where to go next. We get off our bikes, park them, then he points up the mountain. That's where you go.
When I got to that point, I was thinking, I saw the hill, but I was thinking, okay, we made it this far. It's only 3 miles, So I said, we can do this, but it was painful just to walk it. Again, it's much harder. Cross-country triathlons in the mountains at altitude is much harder than in the city or on surface streets. Yeah, I was literally pushing my hands on my legs. I mean, it was terrible. And they were literally picking up the course behind us. I mean, they were picking up the signage and all that. Because we were like literally the last ones out there on the course.
There was one person behind us.
It was like
an older person.
An older person.
Back there chugging along, and we're like, ooh, let them pass us.
Yes.
we're dying trying to keep ahead.
The only thing left they had was like the big finish. Everybody had gone. I mean, it was empty, and
The award ceremony was finished.
So when we crossed the finish line, I mean, I just felt relief. I mean, just relief that we were done, because I was so ready to be done.
I felt quite victorious, even though nobody was there but my family to cheer us on. But I felt like it was quite an accomplishment, because we powered through. We didn't feel prepared for this. We were out of our league, but we did it. Through life, sometimes we run into really tough situations. And first of all, I don't think we're meant to do things alone in life. We really need to accept help when it's time to accept help, and that's hard sometimes. But when we have someone to help us through this, it halves the load. It makes it much more doable, and turns something that seems impossible into something that you can make it through and have a good experience, even though it was really tough. Encouragement for each other, it goes a long way to helping you through the really tough parts of life. I
totally agree. I mean, it was beyond what we anticipated. We got way in over our heads, and if it wasn't for Sandy here encouraging me, I mean, it was encouraging along the way. Say, oh, just one more hill. I mean, that really kept me going because I really wanted to quit. Life is like that. You want to surround yourself with good friends who know when you need either a helping hand, and your good friends will know that. Training ahead of time is also very important. So it's something I learned from this ordeal that I'll never forget.
I'm Sandy Pappas.
And I'm Ernie Medina Jr. And this is our story.
I'm Pastor Tara Van Cross, and we're so glad that you've tuned into our Azure Hills Church YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe, and click on the bell so that you'll be notified every time we share new videos. We are so glad that you're here. Until next time, please know that we're praying for you as you continue to be a voice of hope.